Hi, hello, namaskara, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is our first English podcast which we are doing. So this is here for you guys so that everyone would feel this useful. I would recommend you please watch the video until the end so that you will get a useful insights what we're gonna talk about. It will be completely about how you're gonna how we have to prepare our CVs or resumes and how the job market, especially for the students or the working professionals who are coming to Germany. And today I have a guest with me, Nagma, and we have a special guest, Anna. Without a further ado, we'll start podcast. I would wish you all the very best. Please watch the video until the end. Thank you so much.
So back in India, when we do bachelors in the college, in our university, we have this campus selection, which we have. So companies come to our campus, university campus, and they do a mass recruiting, and they select candidates, freshers from the university, and then they give them a job. That I have not seen here in Germany actually. That's also one of the thing which I wanted to mention here. As I have studied here, would recommend for the people especially who are coming here for masters, one advice for them is that you should probably get in touch with your professors, basically have a kind of interaction with them regarding jobs, because here in India, if you have a professor, then it is just they are going to teach you and with respect to the subjects. But here it's not like this. They are also working in some other company and also coming here as a part time or a guest lecture. So maybe there is a hack. You can go and get in touch with your professors for different references, because they will see you how you are in your studies and other things. So that's one more point where you can get reference from your professors. So people also sometimes ask me, because I am also one of them, with respect to the career shift. I was a developer and now I have shifted to a UI UX designing, so more into designing part. So it's a little bit fine. I mean, it's in the tech itself, but what would you recommend people who want to switch their career entirely, Anna?
I mean, here I would recommend two things. The first one is try to put yourself in the other side again. It's really important that we change perspectives from job seeker to the person that is actually interviewing you, because it will be much more easy for you to understand the mindset. And if I were to change careers, let's say I will put myself into the other perspective. How can I add value to this company now that I don't have experience, but how can I rephrase my experience, or how can I sell it to them so they understand the value that I can provide? Because when you switch careers, you also see, okay, you switch careers because you think I have value I can provide value to this other path, and I'm looking forward to it. It's like I'm not changing careers because I just have a money problem or anything. It's just I look forward to this path now because I'm done with the other. So how can you transmit that to the other party that is evaluating you? The other thing that I would suggest is be resilient, because you will get rejections and so many people will not understand.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that you are wrong. That doesn't mean that it's wrong to change paths, or that your age is wrong, or that your experience is wrong, or all these, I call them limiting beliefs that we build that is only us. It's just obviously that the fact that you change careers is not going to be as smooth as if you were looking for a job in your career. And that means that you have to be resilient, that you have to keep going even if rejections comes, that some people will maybe not tell you the best things, and the best advice, and that you will have to get closer to the people that actually encourage you to take that step and that give you practical advice, rather
Mhm.
than the people that are telling you to go back to your field, or that you were really great, or that you had this cool salary. So
Yeah.
I would say try to understand the people that you are applying to, and try to be as resilient as you can to not give up. Because I saw, even just to give you a really crazy example, there is a person that is really a voice, a really great voice in tech, and she went from opera singer
Oh,
to software developer when she was, I think, between 40 and 50.
oh my God. Wow.
So if you don't believe in yourself, changing careers in your 20s, try to
Def-
understand how that person believed in herself when she's,
Definitely.
I think she has kids. Um,
Oh. No, I have some examples of like one of the person she was into this nursing, she was into a medical field, and she completely changed into UI UX. She was studying with me and I was like, "What? Okay." So yeah, that's it's all about motivation, it's all about dedication and consistency. And definitely you will have rejection, but all you have to be is resilient and should not lose the focus.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the individual person, but what it matters is like motivation, self-confidence, so that they can achieve this thing. If it comes to their mind, then nobody can stop them.
Also, I wanted to know this because I have done this before. It was a recommendation from a colleague that while we are waiting, so once you're done with the interview and you're waiting for the response from the HR or the manager, I used to send a kind of message like, "Hey, I'm here. Thank you for your time, and I really enjoyed the interview. It was very insightful, blah, blah, blah." And do you think this kind of email would help in somewhere in recruiting or like in case of hiring? Do you think HR would remember my name, or just a kind of thank you email or a kind of keeping them in HR loop? Because I have been listening some of from some of my colleagues that um, they were kept in loop, and in future whenever they used to get further positions, new positions, then they got back to them. So do you think this would actually work?
No, it's a really good point. And I could say yes, for sure, do it. But I want to also say, I want to give three advices here. First
Mhm.
is, if you're going to do it, try to personalize it as much as you can, in the sense of, don't
Yeah,
make it longer, but try to refer to something that came up in the conversation, and or something that you guys have in common, or something that they talk about that you really like. So try to put this one line of personalization. The
yeah.
second one is, please no AI in the message. Please no
No
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yes.
Like, I'm I'm a fan of ChatGPT for so many things, but in terms of CV and communication with the recruiter, we have to use it the I would say the least the possible, because there are so many people that know already the structures that ChatGPT uses, and also there
Mhm.
are so many people that can really understand if you use it just because they have enough technology to
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
no ChatGPT, make it from your heart. And also the third one is avoid typos. So try
Yeah.
make sure that you don't have any typo. And I saw this in so many cases. Really make sure, read it again, put enough spaces, and make it really professional.
Definitely. Okay. So we spoke about CV and then some references. Yeah, I would definitely want to know because Germany is all about knowing the purpose why we are applying and why we want this job, etc. So, do you think cover letter is important?
And I want to differentiate between two groups. So job seekers and students looking for working student.
Yeah.
If you are a student, then I would say yes, pay attention to cover letters, mainly for these programs or internships.
Hmm.
Many times they do read it, mainly if they are big companies. Also try to put some effort, that will give a really good impression of you. Now, if you are a job seeker and you're looking for a full time, I could say this is going to sound so bad, but try to make a template. And if you have a big company that you really want to target, or a company where again you have a referral, or you are particularly interested in that company, yes, put effort. If you are not, I would say use this is going to sound so bad, but try to not put so much effort in cover letters, because that's not going to be the main, that's not going to be, let's say, the deal breaker if they send you an interview or not. Try to put more time in your CV.
That's really nice. So cover letter, as far as I have seen, I have been applying here, and I almost was working here for 3 years, and almost three jobs, I can say. So cover letter, I think. Correct me if I wrong, Anna. So first comes is the introduction section, where you introduce yourself that you're applying for so and so position, and then comes the thing where you explain about the company, like you have to do some company research in that case, and you need to tell them why you are applying for this company. And next will be about your technical skills, like what technical skills do you have. And next would be your German language skills if you have. And the last section will be about a kind of not the last section, but second last section, about the interpersonal skills you have, like you're a good communicator, you're good in organized, you have good organizational skills, etc. And the last one would be a thank you message, that I am available from this date and you can contact me through this email and stuff. So I think this is the general pattern of a cover letter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could say they will. They can find many also in just by looking for them on internet. I would say try to avoid again ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Is the
Yeah.
same that thing everyone is using ChatGPT, so your cover letter will not be really different from hundreds. And try to include your not personality, but try to include your style in the cover letter, and think that you only have to do it once, and then you can just manipulate it a little bit.
It's a random question which just now popped into my head. So it's like, for example, myself now I'm in my final semester. So should I apply for a working student or internship, or should I target for a full-time job?
How many months are left for your?
6 months.
I would say you can apply for these graduate programs. There are many companies like Deutsche Bank or Tesla that are offering these graduate programs where they train you, but also at the same time is kind of it's basically your first job after graduation. For those you can apply whenever you want, because basically they open, for example, they are opening right now for the summer in 2025. But for full-time jobs, I would say it's better to start your job search 3 months at least before you can get hired, because
Mm.
a company waiting for someone so long, I'm not sure how that is going to work. Normally they, for some companies, maybe 1 or 2 years they will wait, but many companies they want to hire someone immediately, or at least 1 month or two.
Especially for the people who have work experience and who are working here as a working student, they will obviously use their job experience in their CV. But for the people who do not have job experience, or they do not have any working student here, if they're directly applying for jobs, yes, as Anna recommended, traineeships are the ones which you guys should apply. My next interesting question would be, what do you recommend for the people with career gaps, Anna? So I have seen, I have my friends who are new mommies right now. So they might have some, I mean, most of the people haven't quit the job, but there are many other reasons for a career gap. So what do you recommend, like, whether they should include this gap, or is it a good thing, or how they should cope up with this?
I mean, it obviously depends on the gap. Say what I would recommend is to not overthink and let this gap control the level of self-esteem that you have, or the
Yes.
level of worthiness that you have. Because self-esteem and the feeling of being worthy or not for the job market will control also what companies you apply to and how much salary you ask for. And if this gap is controlling that, most probably you will, let's say, you whenever you get a rejection, your mind will relate it, oh yeah, it's because I have this gap. And most of the times maybe it's not because that gap, it can be for many other reasons. So I could
Right.
say depends on the gap. If it's 1 year gap, I wouldn't care much about it, but that means also I wouldn't go feeling insecure in an interview. Because if I'm a recruiter and I feel like that gap is making you feel insecure, I will focus on that gap somehow. Like that gap will also make me insecure, because I will be thinking, it's basically, if you show up confident, I will just focus on your experience and I will obviously ask you for that gap, but the conversation will be short and clear. If I see that you are confident and you are making a whole topic out of that gap, that's not going to play in your advantage, I would say. If the
Oh,
gap is bigger than 1 year, and I'm working now with people that, for example, are moms and they had a pregnancy and now they have kids, and the gap is, it can be up to 4 years, 5 years. I'm working also with people that haven't worked in like 10 years and they are coming here for a career.
oh,
That gap can make you feel nervous, of course. And I think we need to find a way to justify it,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean that every single rejection that you get is because that gap, and also that doesn't mean that you know your job search is going to be difficult because of that, and that you should lower all your expectations, to the worst job that you can find there.
Yeah.
Just if you feel really insecure, try to look for a mentor and try to look for
Hmm.
someone. Not it doesn't have to be a career coach if you don't have a budget, but try to look for someone else. There are many professionals that can give you the time for free and can advise you, and also can give you some hope. Because I think in this moment we just come with our own opinion, and the own opinion is telling us like, you have that gap, you may not find anything,
Yeah.
and that's not true. Life happens, and mainly for women, we have children at some point in our life, and that's not something you can skip. And then you have to go
Yes,
back to the job market. So,
definitely.
mm,
Yeah. Okay. So Anna, applying for jobs and job search, this whole phase is kind of very much exhausting. So there is something called as imposter syndrome, which happens to people usually. So what do you think? Like, how do you coach your clients to stay motivated and resilient in that case?
I could say, even if I go back right now to a job search, I would feel the same way. I think it's just human, right? To feel some days lows, when you get an interview super high, when you lose that interview super low again, and it's such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I would say it's really important to first to have a proper system. So when you go and you start to look for a job, you need a proper system for when that moment of rejection and really low comes, because that will come for everyone. I'm working with CEOs and I'm working with mid senior and junior people. Everyone is having the same mental breakdown in the
Yeah,
same way. It doesn't really matter
definitely.
how experienced you are and how old you are. You get the same low moments and the high moments. Now you
Yeah.
can manage it better or not, but that depends on two things. First, on your system, in the sense of, I always recommend this to every job seeker. When you start a job search, yes, try to care about your CV, your LinkedIn, your cover letter, but also
Mhm.
care when you start applying,
Mhm.
track what you apply to. Understand how many rejections are you getting, but with proper numbers. How many applications you did, how many interviews are you attending to? Because sometimes we just get the feeling of I'm being unsuccessful, but this is a feeling, and the
Yeah.
feeling doesn't mean you are unsuccessful. It's just you can be successful and feel like a failure. That's
Definitely.
That's really normal. So you
Yeah.
need to understand the perspective, like what's the reality, what are the objective numbers, not my subjective numbers. Because
Yes.
sometimes I hear people like, oh, I applied so much this week and everything is rejection. That's not proper data.
Yeah.
That's not a reason to go down or
Yes.
low. Um,
Definitely.
that's the first part. The second part is work on your mindset in the sense of you are doing something really difficult, and that's a fact. And your
Yeah.
mindset has to be strong because most of the job seekers, for example, I work with, they don't have proper financial stability. And it's not that you are going through a job search. You are going through a job search, then you are going through a financial unstable situation. Then you are going through your parents putting pressure on you and what you are doing with your life.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that you are going through that your mindset has to be really strong, and you have to check in with yourself and also try to have moments where you are not in the job search. So try to
Yes.
go to sports, try to go out with friends. And if you cannot do all this alone, because this is a whole process, try to find a mentor, being paid or not, but try to find someone that you can go to and can keep you accountable, can tell you, hey, Anna, did you apply this week? How are you feeling this week? Did you give up already?
Yeah.
Because then you have someone that you have to give an explanation to.
Yep. Definitely. And I would also recommend people to make a kind of Excel sheet while you're applying for jobs. So once you start your job search, maybe make an Excel sheet and have a record, have some columns for the name, how when you applied, which company it is, and maybe a link to that so that you can get back, and then a status so that you won't be demotivated at some point. Like, for example, at least I would recommend everyone to at least do some 150 to 200 applications for sure. So when you have this list, you will also have an idea that you have applied for so many companies. So this is the thing. And meanwhile, it would help your mentor also to know that what is going wrong, where you're going wrong. So that is also a good thing to have. And also you can be proud of yourself anytime that you applied for so many companies and finally you landed on some jobs. So that's a point I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I could say when you have this kind of Excel that so you are tracking all the application process, you also start taking rejections in another way because for you starts to be data. You know, it's not a rejection for me, it's just I'm getting this data to understand if my CV is working. Actually, they're also try to remember they are judging a piece of paper. Like
Yes.
they don't have you in front of you and they are telling you no. They are
Mhm.
judging a piece of paper that you put together. And also, depending on how many hours you dedicated that piece of paper, then you will
Definitely.
get better or worse results. But
Yep.
treat all this process as data. Don't attach anything to who you are or how worthy you are. You are worthy with a job, without a job, with money, without money, with friends, with no friends, being worthy for your parents or without being, you are still worthy.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, go apply now and don't be demotivated and stay resilient, I would say. Keep applying for jobs. I'm excited to tell you guys that Anna helps everyone with respect to CV building, like a career coach, basically. So I think Anna can share a bit of it. Yeah, she has some free session in the beginning, and yeah, then she will have it.
Yeah, for sure. To say this, right now we are helping people to get jobs. We help immigrants, mainly the immigrants that are here or that want to come to Germany or to Europe in general. And we are offering also these, like you said, free sessions. And these are super useful because we are not going to get you on a meeting to sell any program. Actually, if you don't want this program, it's fine. I was also a job seeker, and sometimes, maybe there is no budget, maybe it's not something that you would like to do, and that's fine. But this session will help you, for example, we can review your CV. That's what we do in most of the cases, or we can answer the question that you have regarding the job search, and that's really useful, even if you don't want a coach or a career coach. I just can give you an example. There was one person that booked one of this call. We never got to any kind of program or any kind of, sale. We just had a CV review of his CV. Like 2 weeks after, he got back to me, "Hey Anna, I'm in interviews." And then few weeks after that, he got back to me, "I'm changing my country and I'm coming to Germany. So I hope I meet you there." And I was like, wow, we just reviewed the CV. I just, make some adjustment. And
Mhm.
he's changing countries in January. Like in January, literally, we're going to meet each other in person. So I could say this could be you. There are many professionals, like I said, that are offering their time for free.
Mhm.
And also, I mean, I will definitely send you the links, guys, so you can put it there, and we do mainly CV reviews,
Mhm.
but we can also answer any question.
Definitely. That's really really insightful for the people who are looking for jobs here. They can please go to Anna, and yeah, you can also connect her on LinkedIn, probably, right? Where you
Yeah,
can book a session according to her availability in the calendar. And yeah, then you're good to go. And yeah, and thank you, Anna, for all your time. And I'm really really grateful that you're here, and you gave us such a insightful knowledge, to us, especially to me, because I have this imposter syndrome. I like that part when you mentioned. And all the other job seekers here and who want to come to Germany, if you're student or professionals, please watch this completely, and I wish you all a good luck.
yeah.
Uh,
Thank you too, guys.
Thank you so much, Anna. It was a very honorable moment for us. This was our second podcast, like officially. So you are our second guest. I was very happy. I also recommend you, and for all the viewers who are watching this, please go to LinkedIn and check it out, our profile. And if you have any doubts regarding whatever the questions or the topic we have discussed here, you can go and text her, so she will get back to you. And you can also get a free sessions with her, and if you like, then you can proceed further. So thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you.
All right. Yeah, I think so. We can. You guys can also go and check out Anna's LinkedIn, where I think I can share it. Yeah,
Yeah.
here. So Anna's this is Anna's profile on LinkedIn, and you can go here and check her account and book the free calls. I think here you can just go and check her availability here, and then you will have a 30 minutes of free session call, and these are the things which she's going to help you with. So yeah, get going.